welcome back to Intro to Personal Branding, week 3. If you've been wondering where has Vanessa been, well, I've been without Wi-Fi, so yeah. But the good thing is that we're back now. We're back. We left off basically talking about why personal branding matters and what actually happens when you're not incorporating personal branding with your content, when you do go viral or when your videos do pick up traction or have a lot of engagement. But first, I want to talk about the common mistakes that I see a lot of people do when they're trying to incorporate personal branding. The first being overly professional. I feel like a lot of people think that they have to be overly professional every single time when they share a piece about themselves, even if you are just creating content, when really you do not have to fake a persona. You do not have to fake being someone that you're literally not. People will like your personality. You don't have to like over filter yourself and not use certain words because you're super scared that people will think that you're too mean or you're too bubbly or you're too unfiltered, when that's the point. And that's the entire reason that people will actually like you more. Another thing that a lot of people do is they tend to overshare because they don't have boundaries on what they will or will not share, which is actually super, super important. I talked about this before, but if you do not have boundaries on things that you want to share and things that you want to keep private, you'll actually start to resent people that are interacting with your content because you're going to start to feel like, oh my gosh, I wish I shouldn't have said that. And now they know this. And now like, I hate that they know this. And you're going to start resenting your audience. And then you're going to quickly start hating content. Number 3, you get overwhelmed very quickly when you start to think about how can I incorporate a piece of myself in this content so it's not a selfish vlog or it's not a selfish piece of content. When really it's not that deep per se, but it's also not something that you're supposed to dwell on for so long, because the difference between a piece of content being a little bit personal within your personal brand and a content piece that is not, is that you just share just literally like 1% or just one little thing that has to do with you. Maybe you're doing a video and you're showing a lot of bouquets and you're like, oh my gosh, I really like these because they remind me of my mom. Oh my gosh, I really like these because they remind me of my childhood. Now we're starting to get to know you a little bit, but then you can keep doing what you're doing if it's a tutorial. You don't have to make the entire video about you because that's not just about you. It's giving your audience a tutorial, but it's also just incorporating a little piece that has to do about you. Number 4, a lot of people think that no one cares. I'm not special. I'm not an influencer. I'm not a content creator. So why should I even share anything about myself? Because literally nobody cares. Nobody's here for me. When actually people are here for you. People come on TikTok to watch their favorite influencers because of their personality, because of the content that they create, because it's them, because they're super funny. People actually do care about other people. And when you think about your friends, you're friends with them because maybe you really like their personality. You really like how they're kind. You had a teacher back when you were in college or back when you were in high school. You really like them because of their personality or how they did things. And that's exactly how people feel when you are creating content. So people do care. You're not a nobody because you are somebody to somebody. Now you're probably wondering, okay, Vanessa, well, you just told me all the common mistakes and that's cool, but how can I do it myself? How can I actually incorporate my personal branding within my content? So here are a few examples. Maybe you're an interior designer and you love all things interior design, and maybe you are in school for that. So maybe you want to create some type of content that lets us know, first of all, what is your project and maybe all the steps and decisions that you're making when you are creating that project, or when you are creating a certain fabric for a certain thing or a certain look for a certain thing. And you take us through the process and you take us through your thinking, because now we're seeing what things you like, why you took a certain approach, and that's letting us know what type of things you like and you don't like. You see how you creating interior designing content is for your audience, but you talking about things that you do and you don't like are a personal brand factor to this content. Let's say you're a single mom that has to balance a job while also taking care of 3 kids. The way that you're going to incorporate personal branding is by showing us how difficult it is, because you're basically embodying that. You're basically telling us, look, these are the things that are super difficult, and let me show you that it's difficult managing a job, being a mom, and taking care of 3 kids. So maybe you show us how you have to feed all 3 of them, and maybe you're on your computer and you're showing us how that is maybe a little bit chaotic, and that lets us know a little bit of your life. You see how you're creating content for the audience, showing us how difficult it is because of your content, and because you're literally showing us through your content how difficult it is being a single mom but also taking taking care of their kids. The way that you show personal branding in your content is by taking pieces of your life or things that you like, things that you don't like, things about yourself, and you insert that in your content. That's why when people that are influencers and content creators and are incorporating things in their content and kind of showing us a little bit of what they like, what they don't like, their personality, how fun they are, how smart they are, how cool they are, how creative they are, that lets people feel more connected to them. They feel like they trust them, then they start liking them, then they start following them, then they start following their journey, or they feel so connected to them that they never feel like they have to miss a piece of content because they love the content piece and content ideas or content series so bad. So our discussion board question for the comments today is, what type of content are you creating or want to create, and how are you going to incorporate personal branding within your content? Comment down below and interact with your classmates, but also any Qs are going to be answered on Friday. So if you have any questions from this video or questions about personal branding, they will be answered on Friday. See you then.